Thank you for making it to part 3 of episode 40 of the Psychotherapist Podcast. We get very psychological and clinical in this final part of the episode where we describe magical thinking and how it is a natural human instinct to connect our thoughts with events beyond our control, even though we think that's not the case. We discuss premonitions. I try and fail horribly to explain cryptocurrency to Doc Bob. We talk about cocaine. We talk about cooking. We talk about Zoloft. We talk about everything under... I was doing so good under the sun on this episode of the Psychotherapist Podcast. Hope you enjoy. Peace. Did you hear that?
Mm-mm.
Sounded like someone having road rage in the distance.
Really?
Yeah, I heard mofo screamed out, but that I'm not sure it's what it
well,
sounded
that's
like.
the other part about Quincy. Quincy Center is crazy.
Is it really?
Yeah. Well, when they redesigned it, they did a terrible job. They tried to jam a bicycle lane in the center of the road, if you can believe that. You can actually see it if you go out there and take a good look at it. The bicycle lane goes right down the middle.
Oh, brilliant.
Splits 2 lanes.
Oh, Jesus. I hate bicycles, bro.
Oh, yeah, you and me both.
Just want to run them over every time I see one.
I saw a guy in Boylston Street. I was picking up my granddaughter at the Old South Preschool. And this guy, I caught him. He was riding around, because I was riding around the block trying to find a place to park, and he was just acting like a real asshole on his bike.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, well, watch this guy get smashed by somebody. And just as I was thinking that, somebody opened the door of their car.
Nice.
I looked over and it was bang, just right out of Saturday Night Live, and he goes flying over the top of it. Yeah, it was pretty.
That's righteous, bro.
I felt guilty. I thought I had something to do with it.
It is so funny, like how I don't know if there's like a psychological field for this, but yeah, let me get that for you.
Oh, thanks.
Where we have this outsized sort of sense of weight behind our thoughts having impacts, just like how you like, oh, I think that guy should get hit, or watch that guy get hit by a car or something, and then he does, I think that's something that, like, I remember when I was younger would be in my head all the time. I remember when I was a little kid, the day before 9/11, I started drawing this Pokemon comic book.
No way.
9/11 the next day, I stopped drawing the fucking comic book. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And you see it in like sports all the time, where if like I don't wear my lucky sock, I'm fucked.
Exactly.
But it's like, is there a field for that? Of where where we think we take our mind over matter principle way too literally?
Well, yeah. First of all, it's a form of magical thinking, which was a psychological term that was developed to describe a certain stage of child's development, or that is thinking that, of all this, the way the world is, and it's a magical form of thinking.
Right.
But people use it now, to describe everything. Like, the guy who has to wear the same rotten, smelly sock every game. It has to be put on the same way on the left foot.
Yeah. So weird.
It is weird. It is weird.
Yeah.
And there have been studies done on, like, premonitions.
Mm-hmm.
Where people do have a premonition about something, and they're right on target.
That stuff I believe is real on some level for sure.
Yeah, I do too.
Because, yeah, I've heard stories that were just like way too specific. You know what I mean? Like, my friend who dreamed exactly when he would learn that his father passed away. The TV, the show that it was on, where he was sitting on the couch, the time on the clock next to the TV.
Wow. Really
crazy shit, bro.
That is.
Yeah.
Was that the friend we talk about frequently?
The one in New York right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had any contact with him?
So I hadn't really heard from him for a couple of weeks, and then the other day he let me know that he'd been, you know, had a, crazy couple of weeks, including getting COVID, which he survived, and we're gonna catch up soon.
Didn't you do some, we're not to say not taxes, see, now I lost the word retrieval. That's another thing with COVID brain fog. The investing is the word I'm looking for. So investing with him.
Yeah, you read my mind on that because, bro, it's been a bloody massacre these past couple of weeks. I could be wrong, but I think at this point, all the gains since Biden took office, were in the red. And I saw this really unsettling video where this morning talking about how Bill Gates is selling fucking everything, selling all his stocks in anticipation of like a Great Depression. Apparently, because these billionaires do have to give these disclosures on some level, and apparently he's selling literally everything, buying a bunch of Berkshire Hathaway, and mostly buying like land and shit that's always going to retain value and shit. So it's not a good sign to me, coupled with like looking down at my Robinhood and seeing all-time lows deep in the red. Makes you like, there's really nothing like stock trading that will both make you feel like a total idiot and a total genius depending on how it goes.
I never touched the stocks. I just didn't think I had the stomach for it or the money really to get to start doing it.
Yeah.
And then it was like I felt like it was too late.
I'm just, luckily for me, I've developed from the early days where I'm in a very long mindset. So it's not like it'll be the end of the world for me if this shit tanks for the next 10 years. You know what I mean? It'll suck for sure, but I'm not gonna, jump off the Tobin over it.
What about all the crypto stuff?
Oh, I've abandoned ship long ago. I think it's the kind of thing that does really well when the economy's doing well and there's a lot of discretionary spending and speculation and all that. When we're on economic hard times, I think stuff like that gets hit the hardest because people don't want to spend limited resources on such like a crapshoot or whatever, basically, because I never really follow, I was into the main ones for a while, mainly Bitcoin and Ethereum, but there's a bunch that have gone tanked or were supposed to be the next big thing. I think, I could be wrong, but I think Solana was one where it was like, it literally went to zero, went under, everyone lost their fucking money for real. So yeah, man, it's I think we're approaching crypto winter soon. I'm still gonna wait for a bit, but once we really get to that point where people are just, and we may even be there, where people just stop talking about how much crypto is dipping because no one even cares anymore, that might be the time to buy.
I just heard some, I don't know anything about it. I heard some young millennial or whatever talking about why crypto became popular with the younger people, and had something to do with the lack of faith they had in the regular systems of monetizing and things like that. What is your thought about that?
That is a huge part of it, or part of the initial appeal was the idea that it won't be regulated. I think it won't exist unless it is regulated, unless the government can get, their grubby little hands on it. And as far as, I don't know, I'm not an expert on this stuff, but I do think the blockchain technology, that is kind of the people say crypto is totally worthless, it's totally made up, it's just numbers on a screen. But I think what distinguishes it and gives it its sort of intrinsic value separate from other products or whatever is that this blockchain technology supposedly makes it impossible to change the ledgers.
I don't know what you're talking about at all.
Shit.
Yeah.
So the blockchain technology, it like copies transactions and it like verifies them across like 1,000 different like servers or something. It's basically supposed to be impossible for any one person to hack into it, to change it. Ultimately the banks can, if they really want to, just make your bank account go to zero tomorrow. With the blockchain, it's kind of like impossible to like get rid of it, sort of, if that makes any sense. I'm really not great at this stuff and explaining it, but does that kind of make sense? It's basically
a little bit.
Like basically as long as there's an internet, you can't like it's something that can always be around, and it can streamline money, because so much of money is digital at this point anyway. There's actually, I can't remember the exact number there, but there's some crazy percentage of the American total budget where it's like actually there's no actual physical paper money, that's just like digital numbers in a computer.
Malcolm, can I shift gears for a second here and ask you about how you're managing?
Cool guy or whatever, so
as many can be. They are usually, they're not always, back alley types,
Right, I remember
mullets and tattoos and,
I mean, it's just, there's different levels,
Right, exactly. I mean, during the days of cocaine, you'd see those guys with 3-piece suits and gold rings and briefcases.
Coke scares me more than the other drugs, like coked up people.
Yeah.
I just think of Tuco from Breaking Bad, but I wasn't there for it, but I had a friend who apparently, one day was hanging out with a coke dealer or someone who did coke, and he brought a friend who fucking sneezed and blew coke all over the place.
Oh, God.
And the dealer / basehead fucking like whipped out a knife and was like, I am going to fucking stab you.
Holy shit.
Like, they talked him down or whatever, but it's just like, that kind of energy, it unnerves me a little bit, Not that I hang out like with people like that all the time or really ever have, but it's just, it's like dealing with very, very drunk people can unnerve me, even if they're just like totally normal in regular life.
It is unnerving.
Because I've had like friends who just turn into fucking psychopaths and you can't deal with them.
Right. Well, the cocaine era of the 80s was really incredible. I mean, it was, I don't spend any time talking about it, but it was just crazy,
Yeah.
Because so many people were uninhibited from the using it that, there's a lot of people who exhibited behavior you never would have expected.
Like what?
Just, very, how can I say?
Twitchy?
Well, not just twitchy, energy, a different kind of energy, a manic-y sort of approach.
Adderall juiced up.
At times argumentative.
Contentious, on edge.
All of it.
Yeah, I think I got a whiff of that when I first went on Zoloft, because I remember I was very, like, for a brief time, aggressive and reckless, and it was fun,
lowered inhibitions.
Oh yeah, it was fun, but it was not a good look.
Right, exactly.
Not a good look.
Oh, it was fun while you were in it.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to finish in about 5 minutes because I have to get over to the post office. I don't know what happened to my mail. So, anything else that you wanted to throw in the mix here?
Shit, dog. Nothing really specific. I've just been kind of keeping on. It's been waiting for this sort of law school app phase to just get it the fuck over with. as because it's a little bit of a bummer having it just hang over me and not like really acting upon it, because it's like I work and then I have to fucking cook dinner for them all of a sudden, like all the time now. I don't know.
Chef Malcolm.
I don't know where.
I'm listening to you. I'm getting hungry. Swordfish, turkey tips. I'm thinking, holy shit! I wish I was eating this good. You know.
Shit, dog. I can't complain about eating.
No, your mother must do some good, buy some good stuff. You know.
Yeah, sometimes for sure, but you know, I've just had to, for whatever reason, like, and I remember, and it really pissed me off at the time. I think it was like a week or two ago. Literally, put me on the grill while it's raining out. Kind of a dick move.
I used to be the grill meister for I would say 20 years of our life, my family's life together, and I loved it.
I don't mind grilling at all, and I'm good at it, but like, it's like when I'm trying to get this other shit done, bro, it's like you're driving me nuts.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, when you have to, that's one of the reasons that well, because of my kids leaving and, you know, nobody being around, that I didn't have the time, you know, because I like to take my time, grab a beer, relax, you know,
right.
Marinate my stuff the night beforehand, you know.
Oh, yeah.
All that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I like to slow cook. I like to, you know, it was kind of just, for me, the best, like, cooking jobs I've done, it's always just been a matter of time and attention. Like, actually observing each part, see which side is cooking too much.
Those are the keys.
Seeing which side, you know, is sort of fatter, and then changing the grills and, like, sort of separating out the, you know, pieces that are cooking quickly from the ones that are cooking, like, are going to take longer, and, like, just a little more effort into it, really, and it really shows.
Now, are you cooking on a gas grill?
Yeah.
Okay. I went out and bought the Cadillac of gas grills. I mean, it did just about everything but, you know, make me sit down and do nothing. And I loved it. And then I just got sick of cooking on gas, and I gave it to my landscaper and went out and bought the Weber charcoal grills and got back into charcoal cooking. And, you know, trying different things like mesquite and stuff like that. And I was doing, when I last was grilling, it was the Webers.
So you're loving the charcoal?
I haven't grilled for a while.
Oh, okay.
But I definitely was, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I just was thinking it was a whole different flavor, and I could do a little more with it, you know, although the gas stuff was so great, you could have different levels, and, you know.
Yeah. I've always been curious what, like, if that, I mean, I haven't had time for it, but I'm on a whole meat conspiracy, or not even meat, food conspiracy, sort of like twang thing going on in my head ever since I heard this story recently about these, like, you know, some people just talking shit on like Timcast or whatever, but they were saying how these people from Europe, like, came here, swore to God they ate the same exact food, portions, everything, gained a shit ton of weight, went back to Europe, ate the same shit, lost the weight. Like, it really, really makes you wonder what the fuck they're putting in, you know? I mean, have you ever seen the McDonald's chicken nugget pink goo? I've seen it and unseen it, lucky for me, but a lot of people can't unsee it.
Well, the reason you don't see those, you know, when they used to sell those pork ribs, the McDonald's McRibs, you haven't seen those in years.
That's true.
Because they showed them what they looked like,
you
know, frozen coming out, and it was enough to make you throw up.
Oh, I'll bet.
They were just like dark, you know, well, not I should say dark, they were a grayish color, and they were just disgusting. And to think that they fired this stuff up and sold it as meat, people consumed it.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, crazy shit, but I haven't had time to go into the meat conspiracies, but one day we'll do an episode on it.
Yeah, well, I was just starting to the other night reading, there was an article on, you know, psychiatry needs to get back into the nutritional stuff, you know.
I think that's been a huge part of, like, I wonder if America would just really change, like, physically, mentally a lot if, like, there were different, like, things being done with the food or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't help but wonder. I have no idea what I'm talking about. It may just be totally wrong, but it really can't help but wonder.
There was a popular book that was out when I was in college that was called You Are What You Eat. And that's how far back this discussion has been going on.
Oh yeah. There's
a long time.
I mean, as I've been like reading a little bit of Herodotus, I'm surprised how like health conscious and like medicine aware or whatever, like in different ways that some cultures were. And like I remember him talking about, I think, Egypt or Libya being like having the healthiest people because they have the most stable, consistent climate, and doesn't bring like, they don't have a flu season and like shit like these, like we do and whatever. But I don't know, man. Like, I think you told me the Chinese thought the stomach was the second heart or whatever. So goes back, man, for sure.
Goes back. Let me conclude with, after I do my first meditation tape in the morning, which it comes off the Calm app. The lady is really good. But today she gave a quote and attributed it to Oprah Winfrey. And I went out and I pulled the book by Thich Nhat Hanh, one of the greatest Buddhists in the world, a Vietnamese guy who's written thousands of books.
Mm-hmm.
And there was the quote. Oprah never said that. She ripped them off.
Whatever,
yeah,
man.
Right.
Shit, dog.
It goes something about, when everything seems overwhelming, do nothing. Be still.
Right.
Like that. I don't know if that's it exactly, but that's the notion.
Well, Oprah's a fraud. You heard it here first.
You heard it first, folks. Okay. All right, Malcolm. I got to talk to you. We got to figure out. I have to talk to you about what times you might be available this week, because my next Saturday might be a mess too.
All right.
So, let me know what your schedule is, and if it's possible to think about another day, we might need to do it. Okay.
For this coming week.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll figure it out, because, like I said, there's been random bullshit I'll have to do, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, let me know. That one might have to be telehealth if it's not a Saturday, but I will know what I have to do. It's not going to be that thing that I was supposed to do the last 2 times and they blew me off the last minute.
Okay.
But there's a lot of stuff going on that I have to get taken care of, and Saturday seems to be the day that's easiest to do it.
All right, gotcha.
Just a lot of licensing stuff and things like that, and plus, I won't even get into it. But I've had to take over all the financial and legal stuff in the office since my partner went down with the stroke.
Yeah.
And I talked to his wife yesterday, and we had some stuff that she took over temporarily, and I have to do all of that. So a lot of legal wrangling.
That's some bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
Well, on that positive note, thank you for listening, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And if people are fans of Kaylee Cuoco and now I can't think of his name, Peterson, the guy from Saturday Night Live, I love both of them, and they did a movie together in which they wrote, directed, produced everything, and it came on the other night on Peacock, streaming movie. It was as a streamer, and unfortunately it sucked. But that's one person's view.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
As long as we're on reviews, Rings of Power.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I agree.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Peace out.
All right. Peace out.